So, what if we were to design new technologies, possibly at great time and expense, and then just give them away for free? Sounds like it could be maybe an interesting subversive idea. Let me give you a couple of examples. This is the Switch-Activated Writing System, or SAWS. It's a system that lets someone write a story or other piece of text using a single push button. And it's been developed for individuals who have multiple hearing, vision, and motor impairment. It's being used here by a high school student to complete her homework. And this piece of software was developed over a period of 8, 9, 10 months by me when I was a visiting scientist at the CanAssist Research Lab at the University of Victoria. And the SAW system is given away to anyone who needs it for free. This is TalkBox. TalkBox is a system that lets someone generate computer speech with the push of a button. And it's designed for those who have little or no functional speech, but who want to communicate verbally. And TalkBox has been developed over a period of 2 years by an interdisciplinary team, including myself, but spearheaded by Ray Faraday, who's a special education teacher in a high school, local area high school. And we see here a high school student using an early prototype of TalkBox. And you can see she's using an early prototype because the computer is in a plastic box, and you may recognize that plastic box as one's holding Ferrero Rocher chocolates. So we really enjoyed that part of the project. So our team has teamed up with the Tetra Society of North America so that anyone who needs or wants one of these TalkBox devices can get one for free. Before getting into further detail, I just want to first touch on the notion of subversive technology design. I'm not using the term subversive as it taps into the rhetoric of dominance and overthrowing power. I'm using the term subversive technology in its positive and constructive sense, the sense that Neil Postman advanced. And this sense of subversion as positive and constructive encourages us to reimagine our relationship of users and technology. And I use this stance of reimagining to challenge and to question and hopefully transform the dynamics that are existing in society and that are prevalent. So let's think about one of these dynamics. What would you say if I told you that many of us are enjoying a veil of protection, but unfortunately that veil will lift for some of us? Some of us will be involved in accidents. Those accidents may cause traumatic brain injury. Some of us may be affected by disease. All of us will age, and we will age in different ways. And some of us will be affected by challenges that are arising due to situation. Susan Wendell asks us to consider the notion of temporarily non-disabled. She asks us to consider how this term might apply to ourselves. She asks us to consider the fact that it might be in our own best interest to structure society so that people with disabilities have every opportunity to participate in every aspect of social life. This leads to the second dynamic. Assistive technology, which is used to help many with disabilities, is a commercial product. And there is a dynamic, in fact, for commercial products. Commercial products must be sold. Here's an example of a piece of assistive technology that you may recognize. It's something similar to what Stephen Hawking uses. And this piece of assistive technology costs over $10,000. Now in Ontario, this device, the cost of it and others like it, is subsidized by a social program called the Assistive Devices Program of Ontario. ADP, or Assistive Devices Program, faces its own challenges. It faces challenges of logistics, of regulatory framework. It faces challenges of funding and capacity. And these capacity challenges can often create long waiting lists. And those long waiting lists can create barriers for those who need technologies. Anyone who wants to innovate in the space of commercial assistive technology will run up against a fundamental problem, a fundamental difficulty in this space. Commercial assistive technology is commercial. And the way commercialization works is that the cost of upfront development is recaptured by selling the unit at a certain price. The more units you sell, the lower the price can be. And conversely, the fewer units you sell, the higher the price may need to be. This is a fundamental feature of economies of scale. And this characterizes the status quo for commercial assistive technology. The thing is, for assistive technology, we're not expecting to sell huge numbers of these products. That seems strange. You might think, well, there's actually a pretty significant need for all these technologies to help intervene for barriers that arise from disability. And it's true, there is a big need, but that need is very diverse. And there's all kinds of different technologies that are needed to address all of these needs. So commercial assistive technology cannot benefit from economies of scale. In fact, it's the opposite. Commercial assistive technology suffers from diseconomies of scale. That is the status quo. That is the conventional system. So where does a university fit in? Where does university research and university teaching fit in? Well, there's two things. First, universities are increasingly seen as drivers of innovation. And we researchers are being asked in different ways to basically map the outputs of our research or our knowledge outputs into the knowledge economy. So there's that factor. There's also the factor that many of us want to innovate in our teaching. And we respond to the fact that our students are asking for situated learning. They want the things they learn, for instance, about technology design, to be embedded and set into real-world, learning opportunities. What if we were to design assistive technologies at great time and expense and give them away for free? Let's see where we are. We've got students who are really eager to learn, and they want to learn about technology, and they want to learn about technology design, and they want to learn in a way that's really embedded in real-world experience. We have the expertise of professors in user interface design, computer science, engineering, critical disability studies, sociology, health, all of these allied areas. And there's a genuine will and need for everyone to collaborate across disciplinary borders. Sounds like an opportunity that we can leverage all these things and apply them to the fundamental problem of commercial assistive technology design. There are three factors that are all coming together to make this happen. The first factor is the genuine acknowledgement in universities about the value of community engagement. And this idea of knowledge mobilization for sure is entrenched in the humanities and in any kind of policy-related research, and it's now starting to get a foothold in science and engineering as well. The second factor is the upswing of experiential learning, and I'm talking primarily about university courses that focus on the design of assistive technology in a way that's embedded with actual users and actual community partners, such as the course that I teach here at York. The third factor that's coming together is the advent of these enabling and exciting new technologies. And by that I mean the low-cost computing platforms such as Raspberry Pi and Arduino, low-cost 3D printing, and the associated change in culture that comes with that. The culture that encourages making of all kinds, most notably connected with the maker community. And in response to technology transfer, intellectual property, patents, licensing, that whole space, there is an increasing use of alternative intellectual property frameworks, such as open source software and open source framework. These three factors are all coming together. They're coming together so that researchers like me and students who I work with are using them to create low-cost or free assistive technologies. And it's an opportunity for us together to subvert the status quo, to shift the paradigm, and to innovate and democratize technology. Thank you.